Oracle just reported earnings and the stock is up nearly 30% after hours, sitting at $310. Now, you guys might follow this channel and know I'm a huge AI bull, but when I see earnings like what we saw today, I feel like I'm not bullish enough. On today's episode, obviously, we're going to take a closer look at what's happening here with Oracle, but more importantly, how I also see this for a lot of AI companies like maybe CoreWeave, Nebius, Iron, and the list goes on and on. So let's take a closer look in today's episode. All right, so if you're wondering how a behemoth of a stock with a market cap of roughly $678 billion is up nearly 30%, that's over a $200 billion growth in just one day. And I would expect this to be probably one of the next trillion-dollar companies in the near future. The main reason is this remaining performance obligation, RPO. This is how much kind of backlog this company has, and it's mainly on its AI infrastructure side. It jumped to $455 billion. Yes, nearly $500 billion in RPO. And this is a massive, massive jump from a quarter ago. Now, if you are curious how I get these charts, these are through fiscal.ai. I do have a promotional offer, fiscal.ai/Jose. I use this platform on a daily basis. If you're serious about long-term investing, I recommend using it. It's a 2-week for free. You don't even need a plugin, a credit card, but the platform is amazing. I use it every single day. And like I mentioned, information and charts like this came out just a few minutes after earnings. Now, the reason I think this is amazing for the AI market and for a lot of companies that we own, companies like AMD, like NVIDIA, companies like CoreWeave, like Nebius, is it indicates how crazy the demand for AI solution is. And I kind of created a quick post here. Oracle backlog was crazy, up 359% to $455 billion. In my opinion, it's crazy to say that there is an AI bubble now when you see numbers like this. And this is what the company said. They signed 4 multi-billion-dollar contracts with 3 different customers in quarter one. This resulted in RPO contract backlog increasing 359% to $455 billion. It was an astonishing quarter, and demand for Oracle Cloud infrastructure continues to build. Over the next few months, we expect to sign up several additional multi-billion-dollar customers, and RPO is likely to exceed $500 billion. That, to me, is wild. The scale of our recent RPO growth enables us to make a large upward revision to the cloud infrastructure portion of Oracle's overall financial plan, which we will be presenting in detail next month at the financial analyst meeting. Now, obviously, we will be covering here, but they do give us a bit of a preview. In forms of Oracle Cloud infrastructure, they expect revenue growth of 77% this fiscal year to $18 billion. The next year, they expect it to grow to $32 billion. The year after that to $73 billion. The year after that, $114, and the year after that, $144 billion. Most of the revenue in this 5-year forecast is already booked in their reported RPO, and Oracle is off to a brilliant start to fiscal year of 2026. Now, I also mentioned that I believe this is very bullish for chip companies like NVIDIA and AMD. NVIDIA obviously is the dominant player in the AI space, but Oracle does purchase a nice amount from AMD. They're actually one of the biggest cluster users of AMD, and in the past, they have mentioned that they're going to buy a nice amount of 355 chips from AMD. So it could be bullish for those 2 players. And I am curious how those 2 are acting. So if we look at NVIDIA stock is up nearly 2% after hours. AMD stock is up about 2.4% after hours. So both of these are seeing some nice movement. Again, this is just kind of showing that indication of the AI market. And this is just coming after yesterday. We saw that massive deal with Microsoft and Nebius. Now, in my opinion, thanks to this massive RPO, we could also see deals with Oracle that they make with either CoreWeave, Iron, Nebius, or maybe some other PowerShells or AI infrastructure company, since Oracle would need more infrastructure needs. That's what we saw Microsoft do yesterday with Nebius. I think in the next month or so, we're going to get some Oracle deal with at least one of these three players. And to me, that is very bullish. As you guys know me, I'm very, very excited for CoreWeave. And that's a stock I am going extremely, extremely, extremely heavy in. So right now, I'm pretty excited about the AI space, but I sometimes when I look at things like this, it makes me realize that I'm not that bullish. I could be a lot more bullish. Now, it is important to remember, right, that most of those heavy growth are expected for later in this decade. So we can see the 18 billion is expected for this fiscal year, 32 for next year, 73 for the year after that. So at least for a few years, it's gonna take some time, but at least it gives us that nice indication of how the trend of the AI market is going to go. I also am happy that this company gave us these numbers because now, as an investor of the AI space, I have numbers that I can personally look at on a yearly basis to make sure that we are on track. Are there any revisions? Are those revisions downwards? Are those revisions actually upward? Are we getting to the numbers that they gave us at a faster level than we expected? Now, with this, we can kind of create a form of baseline. And that also gets me pretty excited because it can help us really understand how this market is transforming. Now, a quick plug, if you want informative charts like this, like I mentioned really quickly, just make sure to check out my fiscal.ai/Jose special offer. If you also want informative semiconductor news, make sure to check out my free daily semiconductor newsletter, What the Chip Happened. We just talked about some cool companies yesterday, and today we are going to be talking about companies like Oracle. Now, here we saw kind of that guidance in forms of their AI infrastructure. That's brand new. But analysts right now, we're already expecting some nice growth rates. I think these expectations are going to increase dramatically in the upcoming days as analysts are going to upgrade their price target, are going to upgrade their revenue expectations. But regardless, we kind of already have seen that Oracle is going to be a nice AI growth story. All right, now that I mentioned a lot of these companies, and actually let's just look at some of these companies right now. CoreWeave right now is up nearly 5% after hours. I'm going to guess Iron is also up about 2.5%. If we look at Nebius, Nebius is up about 0.1%. The market might be expecting a little bit more from CoreWeave right now. The reason being is OpenAI and CoreWeave are strong partners. At least that's what we think right now, right? OpenAI and CoreWeave do have a few kind of contracts going on. Some of this RPO from Oracle, I'm going to guess, is coming from OpenAI Stargate project. So because OpenAI is already working with Oracle and is working with CoreWeave, I guess investors are kind of placing it together that the possibility of Oracle and maybe CoreWeave working in the future is a little bit higher than maybe some of the other players out there. I think there is some truth to there. I think it increases by a little bit the chances of Oracle and CoreWeave working, but it's not a guaranteed. So just want to keep that in mind. But I am pretty excited for potential deals like that. Now, there are some interesting things that came out from the earnings call as well. And I kind of highlighted some great information. So first, this Ellison, Larry, did talk about the AI inference market. And this is, in fact, the biggest market opportunity for AI. This is what we've heard from NVIDIA previously as well. The AI training market is still strong, but AI inference will be stronger as it will be used to run robotics factories, robotics cars, robotic greenhouse, biomolecular simulations for drug design, medical diagnostic images and laboratory results, automating laboratories, placing bets in financial markets, automating legal process, automating financial processes, automating sales process. So inference alone has a major market opportunity. There was also how Oracle has revolutionized application development through AI generation. The company mentions that they have achieved a breakthrough in AI-powered applications. The latest applications that they are building, they're not actually building them. They're being generated by artificial intelligence. And they think they are far, far ahead of any other application companies in terms of generating applications. That's pretty exciting. It kind of showcases that they're really into these AI agents. A few other things that they mention is enterprise demand for AI is now really focusing on the C-suite decision making. Ellison is having discussions with CEOs and government heads of governments, where back then it would not be them. It would be someone way below the ranks that they're trying to get contracts with. Now everyone wants in, and CEOs say they want to use AI. So we can see the top players are leading in this AI market. Another thing is Oracle does expect about a 16% total revenue growth this year. And beyond fiscal year 2026, they are more confident in their ability to further accelerate both their top and bottom line growth rate numbers. All trends pretty much driven by the AI space. I also have some interesting notes about Larry and how he talks about the AI market. They gave a pretty cool story that they had this turnover of a giant data hall to one of their customers. And something like this could have been as long as a couple of months to finally deliver. But to them, it took them a week. It was 1 week from officially owning the equipment to their customer testing and starting to pay. I think that's pretty impressive. The other thing that they mentioned is their non-GPU infrastructure business is outpacing competitors. Um, while GPU markets or the AI servers are getting a lot of attention, non-GPU infrastructure continues to grow as well. They're also kind of growing their capex at impressive levels. They mentioned that the majority of the capital expenditure investments are for revenue generating equipment that is going into the data centers and not for land or buildings. It seems like they don't like to own the land themselves. Now, I also want to look at kind of numbers. And for quarter four, so last quarter, they guided that for fiscal year of 2026, CapEx was going to be over $25 billion. Just a quarter later, they increased it by 10 billion, approximately 40% higher, around 35 billion. And they mentioned that this 45, $35 billion is possible to go even bigger depending on the capacity that they're able to build out. So again, I'm pretty excited for Oracle. I do have a small, not a small, a decent sized position in Oracle, right? So I'm pretty excited for this win. But for me, I am more excited about the AI space. And for that reason, I think I'm going to continue to invest in a lot of these AI infrastructure companies as the demand for them is still pretty crazy. And I do think we are very much in early innings. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Take care, have a good day, and see you all next time.